Intentional motherhood seasoned with grace. Reheat your coffee for the third time today and pull up a chair with your new mom friends, Christy and Jamie. This is Motherhood on Purpose.
Welcome back to Motherhood on Purpose. It feels so crazy even saying motherhood on purpose. I had to reprogram my mind in what I'm saying because we have been MIA for a little while. And today I am joining you with Christy from One Blessed Mess. And we just want to talk about life. We just want to chit chat. We want to talk about all the things going on in life and just do, I guess, for lack of a better word, a little update. Just enjoy a good conversation with a friend over coffee and just chat with you all. So I thank you for joining us today for this podcast. And I've very much been looking forward to this.
Yes.
I feel like I want to sing, that Reunited and It Feels So
Yes.
Good song.
All right, you start
I feel
singing
like
and I'll come
singing
in on
that right
harmony.
now. We'll make this work. It feels so good to be seeing, you
Yes.
in this space and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Me
So
too. Me too. It's gonna be good to catch up.
let's talk first about life.
Yes.
What have you been doing? Where have you been? We both
Where
kind
have I
of
been?
took a little bit of
We
a
did.
hiatus, if you will, for a
Yes.
while, and just talk to us all. Let us know what you've been doing, what you've been up to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I remember you and I talking when you were talking about taking a break and we were having conversations. And I was like, I think you should definitely just go with what the Holy Spirit's telling you in this. And, just wanting to support you in that, taking a little bit of break because it is hard. It's hard to step back from your channel and the community and the people that you keep in contact with on a daily basis. It's hard to say no to things that you just feel
Yes.
so deeply about. And, I remember it was like a week or two later, life kind of hit me pretty hard. And I was forced to also take stock in what was most important at the time, as far as priorities were concerned for my family, and just being able to be present and be mentally and emotionally there for them. It kind of started in September when my 22-year-old nephew passed away. And it just felt like ever since then it's been kind of one hit right after another, just kind of a roller coaster ride, emotionally, mentally, sometimes physically, because we've had some health stuff in there too. But I finally feel like I'm at a place now where I can add some of these things back in. Not that they weren't super important to me before, but I just didn't have like the emotional and mental bandwidth to deal with like filming and
Absolutely.
editing and keeping up with a schedule and just those added things that were kind of weighing me down at the time. I needed to learn to be okay with saying no to those things and stepping back and trusting the Lord in all of it, that he was going to work all this together, and that I had that hope that I would come back to it sometime in the future. But I said this before, but my camera felt like it weighed 5,000 pounds. Like I couldn't even imagine picking it up because I just didn't have that capacity to film and to just go through all those motions. And I never want to film things just for content or just to get something up. I don't want to be disingenuous, to the people that watch, because I feel like that translates, when you're just trying to get stuff up there. I've done that before where you just try to film something to get it up
Absolutely.
and then you don't feel very good about it. You're just like, oh, I don't feel good about this. And you put so much effort into a video that you're not, like, your heart wasn't into. And so,
Absolutely. And the time that
yes,
it
yes,
takes to do all of it and to
right,
not really feel
right.
100% there. And
Exactly,
I
exactly.
can relate to what you're saying very much.
Exactly. And I'm the kind of person too, like when I'm doing something, I need to feel like I'm doing it well. And I know I've said that before on this podcast. And so to be able to do something half-heartedly, especially something that I take as seriously as my channel, like, because I don't see it as just like a
Yeah.
YouTube channel. Like I want to always be there for the people that watch. And I just am so grateful to the community that has just surrounded me in prayer and that I've been able to pray for. And it's just, I do take it seriously. And so yeah, having to say, goodbye for a little bit and to really focus 100% on my family at the time who needed me. And
Yes.
it was hard to do, but at the same time, I'm glad I did. I knew it was the right choice. I knew I was making the right choice. And but I've missed it. I've missed it dearly. So it's good.
Yes.
It feels good to be back and to be doing some things like introducing some things back in. And
I heard that.
yeah, that would be my toddler.
That's
I bribed my kids with sweets.
Hey, I think we did this before too. I think we did this before.
Yes.
I told my boys to do their chores. I'm like, you guys do your chores
Yes.
and just that will keep them busy for a few
Right,
so that we
right.
can, we can have this moment to do this. So you got to do what you got to do to get it done. Like
Exactly,
no shame
exactly.
in that.
Yep,
No
yep.
shame in
They've
that.
got oatmeal cream pies coming at them when
Oh my
we're done. I
goodness.
was like, you
Those
guys
take
take the littles and just keep them quiet for a little bit. Go play with them upstairs, and
yes.
and you guys could get oatmeal
Yes.
cream pies. How about that?
Yes, and it'll be all worth it. Don't you worry. Don't you
Yes.
worry.
Yes.
And so one thing too, in relation to life and your channel and homeschooling and all the things, and this might be something that I know we've talked about it, but some of our listeners might not be aware. But when it comes to homeschooling and
Yes.
your channel and documenting everything, you
Yes.
have been doing that since day one as far as
Yes.
documenting. And so
That's a
I
good
know
point.
between, our conversations,
Mm,
just intimately, you and I, we had talked a lot about how it's so different at
yes.
times homeschooling
Yeah,
versus homeschooling and putting out content. And
absolutely.
there's such beauty in being able to homeschool your children
Yes.
fully without thinking about anything else
Right. Right.
and having anything else weighing on you. And so that I think is another thing that has been a beautiful part of this season that you have been in is
Yes.
being able to experience homeschooling and not having to think about anything else,
Exactly.
like nothing else. It's I'm homeschooling my babies, I'm pouring
Mhm.
into my family, I'm pouring into myself what you
Right.
have needed, what your family has needed,
Right.
going through grieving and loss and health issues and all the
Mhm.
things, being able to fully be you and present in those
Yes.
things, um, without I don't want to say distractions because I don't think either of us take our channels as distractions
No.
because
Mm-mm.
it is something that we value very much and the community, but there is something in there's beauty in stepping away from all of
Mhm.
that and just truly being present right where you're at. Um,
Exactly.
and so I think that's another beautiful thing that I have seen come out of this season for you that makes my heart happy
Yes.
is you being able to experience homeschooling as homeschooling,
Right.
you know?
Exactly. And even homeschooling like through the season has been hard. It's like putting one step in front of the other, knowing that homeschooling is always going to be my priority because my kids' education is always going to be at the top of my priority list on a day-to-day basis. And so, having to do it on the days where I did not feel it. My heart wasn't into it, but I knew that we had to get it done. I couldn't imagine also documenting that because it was just literally survival
Yeah.
mode for me, like the past few months. But at the same time, like you said, there were really beautiful moments where I was able to just really be 100% present instead of worrying about like an angle, like, oh, I got to set up the camera, to get us doing this or
Absolutely.
doing that. And um, just being able to be 100%
Absolutely.
present has been huge. And then on top of that, like the social media aspect of YouTube, being on Instagram and things, the world is very, very heavy. And so that's just
Yeah.
added noise in your head. And so being able to just step back a little bit from all of that and really just get clear headed and, super hyper focused on just what was in front of me, the most important thing, because I mean, I feel like you are the same way. Like you are an empath where you take on other people's
Yeah.
feelings and emotions. And so constantly being immersed in just like this, that, like all these really heavy
Yeah.
things going on. I take that personally. Like I take it all in and it weighs me down as much as I don't want it to. I do. I soak it all in. And before I know it, I feel like I weigh 5,000 pounds because I'm just so
Yes.
full of all of like the world's hurt and their longing and just their need for Jesus and not being able to do anything but pray. It's so hard because you want to change so many different things that are out of your control. So it's
Yes.
yeah, it has been, I guess, a twofold kind of thing, being able to step back from social media a little bit and really just focus on, like I said, the simplicity of life, just
Yeah.
being there with my family, and also the YouTube side of it, which does take a lot of effort. It isn't a distraction as much as it is just an added it's an added thing on your to-do list. You have to get it done. You have to get it done
Yeah.
at a certain time. You have to get things edited. And yeah, I didn't want to do it out of chore because I never want my channel to turn into something that I don't feel like doing. I want it to always be a blessing to those who watch it, and to me as well. So yeah, I mean, how are
Absolutely.
you? How have you been? You took a little break too. So what have you been up to?
Yes. What have we been up to? Okay. Yeah. So I think most listeners probably know this, but definitely took a break also.
Mhm.
And I think it was about 2.5 months that I was totally done filming. I was done with the camera. Like, I'm bad anyway at Instagram. I'm just going to be real. Like I go in spurts where I'm really good and then I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I checked out. And I appreciate those who I guess give me grace in that and just understand like, oh, she's here. Oh, she's gone for 2 weeks. Where'd she go? Like I am so all over the place when it comes to the Instagram side of things. So,
Yes.
um as far as all of that goes, it's been so nice to have a bit of a break. And like you said, sometimes I can feel like we are internalizing all the world's problems, like you said.
Yes. Yeah.
And I can feel like a dumpster where
Yes.
I'm just taking it all in,
Yeah.
and it's not good. It's not
Mhm.
productive or doing
Right.
anything for me. And trying to find that balance in life and in all the
Yes.
things. And we've talked about all of this a million times when it comes to life and social media and all the things, but it's been a really good season. But one thing that I've noticed is and this is really crazy actually, but I I have felt so relieved in so many areas of our life.
Mhm.
But the one thing that I found was, I don't want to say that I mean, I guess I can just say it felt like the enemy was attacking me in the realm of homeschooling, which
Yeah.
is really weird. So during the 2.5 months that I was gone, normally I come on and I'm trying to pour into other moms in
Right.
homeschooling. And it was like, whoa, right now I
Yeah.
felt that I needed to be poured into, which is really crazy because I felt like I was like, we were good. We had this
Yeah.
homeschooling thing figured out. But something about my oldest being in 8th grade and feeling that pressure
Yeah.
of life and where I was at in 8th grade in the public school system, like there was so much going on in my mental headspace that really it was a struggle. And it
Mm.
took every bit of that 2 months for me to pull myself out of it and just realize that none of those things matter. None of the
Mhm.
things that I'm stressing about and over, none of them matter in the whole scheme of life. And that was something that I was kind of dealing with that I didn't really talk a whole lot about,
Right.
obviously, because I was dealing with it
Mhm.
behind the screen, if you will.
Right.
Um, so that was an interesting thing to kind of go through, to be on the total flip side.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
here I am sharing, encouragement for homeschool moms. And it's like, whoa, whoa, this is as real as it gets. And I'm struggling.
Right. Well, I
So
think
it's
though that
crazy.
that's encouraging to maybe some beginning homeschoolers out there to know that this veteran mom, you still run into snags
Don't
sometimes.
call
And
me a
it's
veteran.
totally,
That's crazy.
you are. Girl,
A
you've
veteran
been,
homeschool mom?
yeah,
Is that me?
that is you. That is you. And I think people look to you
Oh,
as
goodness.
a veteran homeschooling mom. I know I see you as, I feel like I'm still
It's
like a
so
newbie over here, all
crazy.
trying to figure out, the terrain. But it's encouraging though, because not that anybody wants to see you struggle. I don't mean it like that, but to know that those hard times are going to come and you can push through them and come out the other
Yes.
side, and it always
Yeah.
gets better, and that there is hope.
Yes.
I think that that's so important
Yes.
for new homeschooling moms to hear, because
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I get so many messages from new homeschooling moms that are like, how do you do this? Like, everything feels crazy and I feel like I can't get the hang of it and my kids hate
Yes.
it. And it's like, there is so many different
Yes.
things that can play into that, that if you just stick
Yes.
with it, that it could get better.
Yes. And on the scheme of, like the curriculum side of things,
Yes.
if I showed you all of the language arts curricula, whatever, for all those Nazis out there,
Whatever.
I'm curriculum. I will always be curriculum, but it's fine. Um, there's so many things that I have purchased and looked through it. I'm like, oh, I want this chunk
Yes.
out of this, and I want this
Right.
chunk out of this,
Mhm.
and really narrowing down what my vision is for each of my children,
Yeah.
kind of simplifying it in a way of knowing my 8th grader, I want to focus on writing.
Mhm.
I want to make him a strong writer. That's
Mm.
my mission this year. Not
Yes.
diagramming sentences, not labeling sentences, none of that, but I want to help him be a better writer.
Right.
That's what I want to work on this year. And so that's something that little bit of a break kind of brought into my life, was a bit
Mhm.
of an attack, but then also a plan.
Right.
Like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to focus on with my boys. This is where I know they need attention. And so that's been something, um, like you said, in this community, it's crazy how much we really truly do all need each other. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just another homeschool mom sharing our journey, but there's so much wisdom that has come from other women in this
Mm.
group, and just building each other up and lifting
Yes.
each other up,
Yes.
that when I was gone, it was like, I miss that. I
Yeah.
miss that community. I
Me too.
miss us moms sharing our struggles and what we're going through. And I truly did feel alone there for a good portion
Mhm.
of it, because I didn't reach out. I didn't ask for help. It was something I was dealing with on my own.
Right.
And so it's something beautiful that I can share now,
Mhm.
and really truly say, yeah, I don't care how long you've been homeschooling, there's always Satan is always out looking for a way to attack you. And for
Absolutely.
me, it was with my oldest. It was,
Mm.
he's not doing enough.
Right.
He's not, he can't do this and this and this. It was all these
Mm.
negative
Right.
things, and comparing me to who I
Mhm.
was in public school. Like, what in the
Right.
world? Why
Right.
why am I even going there? And
Right.
so that was a little bit of a struggle that I was dealing with, while I was on break. But I feel like I am in such a better place now for that.
Good.
And I have a better focus and direction on
Yes.
what I want for each of my boys, just personally and individually, each of my children. So that's been an awesome thing. Um, I was able during this break to go on a marriage retreat with my
Oh, that's
husband, which was
awesome.
awesome. We've never done this before. I've gone on retreats myself, like with other women, and
Yeah.
that's been a beautiful thing. But we went on our very, very first couples marriage retreat. It's
That's
through
amazing.
FCA's Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and it was so wonderful to do this. It has just blessed our marriage in so many ways. It's been such an awesome thing. So I had to share that on here. It was definitely a life-changing experience.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I want to share, because I know we've got a lot of mamas and women and wives listening, but it was a really cool tip that I want to share. And I don't know, some of you may already be pros at this, but we were not. When it comes to reading and studying the Bible together, my husband and I honestly would kind of do our own independent things. It's
Mhm.
nothing we've ever really joined together
Yeah.
and done as husband and wife.
Right.
And um, so the speakers actually spoke a lot of every day doing a 30-minute check-in. So
Mhm.
whatever that looks like for your specific family, maybe it's in the morning, maybe it's at the end of the day, but spending 30 minutes with your spouse, specifically talking about your day, what you need, what is going on in your life, how are you feeling emotionally, what are you needing from each other. They talked a lot about physical touch,
Mhm.
trying to just touch each other with no other intentions
Right.
but touching, right? Like, we're not
Yes.
we're not going to the other attention. Like, just hold my hand.
Yeah.
Just give me a kiss on my cheek. Like, rub
Right.
my back without wanting other things, right? And so just that physical touch and
Right.
and being available and
Mhm.
there and that connection. I think they said like 30 times a day or 20 times a day. I don't remember specifically,
Mhm.
but there's like a number there, and you don't have to stick to that, obviously, but just trying to be more
Yeah.
intentional
Right.
about, being there physically and emotionally and available for your spouse, and then praying together,
Mhm.
which is something we've not always been the best at doing either.
Us either.
Honestly, we haven't. And
Yeah,
it's a very it's such an intimate thing,
it
which is
is.
so crazy because we are most intimate with our spouses, right? But for
Mhm.
whatever reason, it's such a big deal
Yeah,
to pray
right.
out loud with your spouse. And so that's something that we've been loving doing together, even as a family.
Yeah.
And it's opened my boys up in prayer,
Good.
um, in a couple other areas, which has been
Yeah.
awesome. Um, I was the other day, I obviously am dealing with a little bit of a bug, but I was in my bed pretty much all day.
Mhm.
And you want to talk about mom guilt, right? Um,
Yes.
when mama's sick and she hasn't said but maybe 10 words to her kids all day,
Mm.
and you're in your bed all day and they're just honestly entertaining themselves. That is one of the
Mhm.
worst feelings as a mom. Um, husband coming home and there's no dinner, there's no,
Oh,
and this is
yeah.
just
Yeah.
what I put on myself, what we
Me
put on
too.
ourselves
Me
as
too.
women
Yep.
sometimes. Yes. And my youngest comes in before bed and he's like, "Mom, can I pray for you?" Like, that was the
That is
sweetest,
so sweet.
most precious thing ever, and these little nuggets, the I had a whole Instagram thing typed out, and I just deleted it because 'cause I'm like, "Nope,
Yeah.
nope, like, this
Yeah.
is my
This
brain,
is
this is how I do
yeah.
these things," but this was a private, intimate moment in our
Yes.
home that I will never, ever, ever forget, and
That's
it's all
beautiful.
because it's come from what's happening in our family, what God is doing in our
Yes.
marriage and in our home, and it's been such a beautiful thing, and so I wanted to talk on that and just challenge maybe some of you mamas too. um, Shoot for 30 minutes a day to just sit and talk with your husband,
Mhm.
talk with your spouse, whatever is going on in life, what your struggles are. Check in with him, try
Yeah.
and challenge yourself maybe to a little more physical touch here and there, because the men need it too. They
Yes,
might
they do.
not say,
Mhm.
they might not say it as often as we
Mhm.
women do, but they do. They
Yeah.
do. They need it just like we do. And then too, just reading the Bible together,
Yeah.
like reading, sitting and reading. Maybe he has a Bible, you have a Bible, read the same chapter, if you will, and then talk about what you read
Mhm.
when you're all done. It doesn't have to be something you're doing out loud together. Do it intimately and then talk about it.
Yeah.
It's been such a beautiful thing for us. And I was really excited to share that because it's not, this is, this is God working in our life,
Oh, yeah.
from a marriage retreat
Right.
and what we have taken and put into action. And it's been a beautiful thing. So I just want to encourage some of you mamas listening too, to and maybe challenge you to
Mhm.
try something new, try something different in your home and in your marriage, and watch it bloom, watch God work. It's been amazing. So
Well, it is amazing
that
to
is,
hear too how those things that you pour into your marriage trickle down onto the kids
yes,
like that. When they
yes,
see that, when they see mom and dad as like a united front together and see them
yes,
praying together and see them reading the word together. I mean, that's such a beautiful thing for them to
yes.
witness. Even if you don't think it's affecting them, it really does in so
Oh,
many
it is.
ways.
It
And
is.
and like you said, we're not the best at, praying together and getting in the word together. Like, Derek, he works super long hours some nights, and so by the time he gets home, it's like it's pure chaos, trying to get the kids down in bed. And then we're
Yes.
trying to get like conversation in, but it's in between, changing diapers and cleaning up messes. And yeah, just to be more intentional with that time
Yes.
and just be like, no, we're going to sit here. We're going
Yes.
to pray together. We're going to talk about our day together. And like you said, with physical touch, that's actually Derek's love language. And that is the
Oh,
thing that I am.
really?
Yes. And that is the thing I am the worst at. I'm
Okay.
terrible with physical affection because I'm so touched out during the day, like kids,
Yes.
all over me all the time,
Yes.
that I'm just like, okay, everybody leave me alone. By the
Oh,
time,
touch me.
yes. By the time I get, then I don't even think about it. And so it is something, yes, that is a good
Yeah.
challenge to really be
Yes,
intentional with that, even if it's just like hand holding or, just,
absolutely.
yeah, just being
Or
there,
you're making
cuddling up
dinner
next.
and you just, put your arm
Yeah.
around him, or like
Yeah.
little
Right.
things that
Right.
are just a random quick, I'm setting something in the
Yeah.
dishwasher and he's standing there. So I'm gonna put
Yep.
my hand on your back while I lean over,
Yeah, because who
just
doesn't
simple,
feel
simple
loved when
things.
somebody does that, when
Yeah.
they're thinking
Yeah.
of you and they want to do that. So, yeah,
Yes.
thank you for that
Yes.
reminder and thank you for
Yeah.
sharing your experience.
Yeah.
That's so awesome to
Yeah.
hear. It really
And
is.
I know they at retreat, they were challenging us to do this every day. And that has
Mhm.
definitely not been the case. This has
Right.
not been the case. We have
Yeah.
not done this every single day and foolproof. Is that even the right word? No. No, it's not. But whatever. We have not been like perfect
Yes.
at this
Yes.
by any means. But when we do, and given the little nuggets that we're
Yeah.
seeing, it's like, this is so great.
That's
I
so good.
love this so
Yes.
much. Like it's been awesome. So I definitely wanted to share that because it it is life changing. I mean,
Yeah.
truly. And
Oh,
like you
that's
said,
so
the
good.
seeds that are being planted on our kids
Yes.
when we don't even realize or think,
Yeah. And then
you
they're
know.
seeing this healthy, beautiful marriage model to them
Yeah.
for when, they have a spouse in the future and to be able to
Yep.
treat them like that. Like that is just what a great example you guys are setting for your boys and for them to
And
see that.
wanting to break those
Hmm.
generational curses, like we have to
Absolutely.
act. Like we have
Absolutely.
to act. It's not going to
Hmm.
just happen,
No.
we have to work
Mm-mm.
at it. And so that's definitely my goal in all of
Yeah,
this. So
absolutely. Yeah, that's
that's
actually
been
something
awesome.
that we've been, Derek and I have been talking a lot about that and just growing as people because when we stop growing, when we stop learning, we're not able to be taught anything new. It's like we're never going to fully arrive. I mean, we're going to be works in progress our entire lives. And so to be able to grow together like that and to
Yeah.
really connect with each other on that level and to admit at times like I haven't always done this the right way
Yeah,
or this is just how it was modeled to me growing up and so trying to unlearn these things that
for sure.
are habits and it's yeah, that is definitely we're on the same page with that, like that is breaking those generational curses and being okay with admitting that okay, this isn't exactly the healthiest thing,
Yeah,
so let's move forward in a different direction so that yeah, we can
absolutely.
model that for our kids and so that they know what a healthy marriage looks like. So yeah, that's great.
Absolutely. Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
And the physical touch, that's a good thing.
Yes,
That
yes,
conversation and connection
yes,
is a good thing.
absolutely.
And I don't know if I can't remember. I think you and Derek used to do this, but I could be wrong. Did you used to have one night a week where you send your kids upstairs and you get them? Is this you or am I getting confused with someone else? Because I'm
Wait,
feeling like you
we
guys
send
used to
them
have
up.
a date where like you send,
We
where
do.
you send them upstairs or something and you have, sorry, we're
What?
freezing.
Okay, and I've got a kid. I'm not opening the door. No, it's locked. Where's Sissy at? Well, can you go play for a little bit longer? Okay, and then we'll get a treat.
Yeah, those oatmeal cream pies.
Yeah, remember the treat. Remember why we're doing this.
Yes.
We
Yes.
do, yeah, we do have nights where we like, yeah, send the kids up a little bit early and then we like do dinner together
I
downstairs and
thought that
watch a
was you guys,
movie.
and maybe
Yeah.
that was before Jack. I can't remember, but
Yes. Yeah.
I swear for whatever reason I put that with you where it's like they go have a movie or whatever for a little while
Yes.
and you guys just
Yeah.
have a date time. And so this
Yep.
time that you're connecting doesn't have to be crazy
Right.
elaborate. It can be
Right.
something as simple as we climb in bed and we're going to talk for a few minutes,
Mm.
which doesn't always happen because usually when my husband hits the bed, he's like out and knows
Uh-huh.
where. But if you can catch him,
Yeah.
and so it's just a beautiful thing. And
Yeah.
I'm really grateful that we had the opportunity to go on that retreat and what beauty has come out of it that
Yeah.
we didn't expect.
That is
So
awesome.
yeah.
So
So
good.
let's talk Christmas, I guess. How are things
Yes.
going for you right now? Are you are you doing anything specific as far as homeschooling goes with like unit studies or anything in that realm?
So, since we're doing My Father's World Exploring Countries and Cultures this year, I thought it would be fitting. We did this a couple of years ago, but we're doing a Christmas Around the World unit study for the next few weeks.
Awesome.
I looked in a Gather Rounds
Awesome.
unit study, and it looks amazing, but I just didn't really want to spend the extra money on it
Yeah.
this year. So I went ahead
Yeah.
and I'm pulling back up the one that I bought from Teachers Pay Teachers a couple years ago because we enjoyed it so much.
Awesome.
And the kids, they always asked about it. They're like, hey, can we do that again this year? So I'm pulling that one back out. And so yeah, for the next 2 weeks,
Perfect.
starting Monday, we're just going to go around the world, learn how other cultures and countries celebrate Christmas, and they have like
That is
recipes and
awesome.
stuff like that. I know I found a ton of stuff from like Germany and other countries from Aldi, the store Aldi.
Wow.
Yeah, so like some of the stuff
Okay.
they were talking about, they had specialty items at Aldi that I was able to pick up 2 years ago when I was doing it. So, and the
That is
kids thought it
awesome.
was totally gross, but it's still
But
it was
it's like
cool.
totally pertaining to what we're
Yes,
doing. So
exactly. They're like, "Oh,
that is
it's a
so
fruit
cool.
cake." It's yeah, but
This
it
is
was
not
really
fruit and
cool.
this is not
Yeah.
cake.
Yeah, this is a German version. I don't know. It was not good. But it was still cool for them to be able to experience those different foods. And so yeah, we
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
lighter schooling. Like right now, even though we're not doing our Christmas unit yet until we start it on Monday, we're just doing really light stuff leading up to Christmas. And then we'll take 2 weeks
Awesome.
off for Christmas and New Year's and hit
Perfect.
it back early January because we have to make up our
Yes.
days. I was hoping for a longer break this year, but we've
Yes.
already taken some time off. And so definitely need to
Yeah.
get it back up in early January.
Yeah.
But how about you guys?
Wait, we got time. For us, we're not doing, this is the first year that we have not done an actual like unit study, but
Okay.
you
Mhm.
talking about the one you're talking about makes me really interested in that.
Yeah.
We've done the Gather Round Christmas unit study in the past for 2 years, I think, maybe 3 years. I don't
Yeah,
even
we did it
remember.
last year too. Yeah.
Yeah. And this year, I love their Christmas around the world, but I'm like you. I know for one, it's getting to be a little too late in the game to start it now.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know. I just am not feeling it. For
Yeah.
some reason, there's something in me that's just, no, we're good. And so
Yeah.
we honestly are just using the Bible and we're reading one chapter of Luke. We did this last year.
Hmm.
One chapter of Luke every day together
That's
as a family.
awesome.
And
That's
that's what we're
perfect.
doing.
Actually, I
And
might steal that idea for our morning basket. That's a good
yeah, you
idea.
totally should.
Yeah.
Yes. I know Megan at Pennies and Salt.
I
I
saw
know
that.
she
Yeah.
kind of starts something like this.
Yeah.
And I think we did it I know we did it last year.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't remember if it was spawned from her or it was another. I don't
Hmm.
remember where I heard of that idea, but
Right.
that's been something that I really have been enjoying. And then yesterday, I'm trying to just find like a random craft or something fun to
Yeah.
do every day with the boys, which is not necessarily the easiest thing when you're kind of under the weather. But I went
Right.
and got some like salt dough
Uh-huh.
and or clay, I guess it's molding clay, and we tried to do ornaments.
Yeah. How'd that work out?
Oh my goodness. Reminds me why I don't do this stuff. I'm not the super crazy fun crafty mom.
I'm
And then
not
they
either.
all
Oh
dry
gosh, me
out
neither.
and they break, but people make them look so awesome on
I
Instagram. I'm
know.
like, "Oh, I can do this."
Girl. I have to Okay, so I had every intention of doing paper mache masks to go along with our South
Oh
America
my.
unit. And I
Yes.
bought everything for the paper mache. I probably spent $60 just on paper mache craft stuff. I
Yeah.
got as far as the kids making the mold out of the clay for the mask, and they sat on my counter for probably a month. I'm not kidding. And the kids were like, are we going to do like the actual paper mache part? And I kept chickening out because I knew it was going to be a huge mess. And I was like, oh, maybe tomorrow,
Yes.
maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. And they just sat out until I just tossed them. I just tossed them out. I was like, you know what? Forget it. We're not
Yes.
doing this.
We're not doing those. We
No,
got this far and that's as far as we're going. So
you
we're
guys could
done.
make a
Yes.
face. That's as far as the mask is
Yes.
going. Yeah. Because it was,
Yes.
yeah, it was going to be.
It's so hard. I have all these good intentions of
Yes, me
wanting to do
too.
all these things and make
Me
all
too.
these recipes and do all these fun things, but the reality of it is like when it comes time for it,
Yeah.
we just don't.
We're
And
terrible at it.
yeah, yeah, it's fine. Like we have one ornament. I think
Yeah.
the boys bought one cutout that's like a dog, and then they got one that's a star, and then we have a cross, and
Yeah.
then there's a monkey. And I'm like, well, that's okay, whatever. I'm like, this is not going where I was thinking, but it's fine. It's fine. We have 4 ornaments and we'll just call it a day with those. But I do want to do this is something I put on my grocery pickup order, but I know they were big last year,
Mhm.
but they're like hot cocoa bombs or hot cocoa bomb
Yes. Oh, those look
balls,
so
whatever.
awesome. Yes.
Yes. And those are, I don't feel like such a crafty thing. I feel like the boys can come in the kitchen with me and we can
Yeah.
make those and make a huge disastrous mess. And
Right.
I think those will be something that we all enjoy. And so
Yes.
I'm going to try and do that today. We'll see. I'll let you know how that goes.
Oh,
But
definitely. Yeah, keep me updated on that because I was
yeah,
looking at those
something,
too, and I was like, that looks like something
yeah,
that might be fun. But yeah, let me know
yes.
if it goes well with your boys.
Yeah, yeah, I
Report
will,
back.
because it's one of those things that I think, well, I mean, it's chocolate, so we all
Yes.
enjoy
How
chocolate,
bad
right?
can it be?
It's a little
Exactly.
more interesting than uh ornaments. But yeah, as far as anything, I don't think we'll do school today, actually, as I'm filming, because it's as I'm filming. No, we'll cut that part out. I'm so confused. I'm so disoriented. But I don't think we'll do anything specific as far as book work today, but we're
Yeah.
kind of on the same schedule. It sounds like
Hmm.
just trying to be slower paced,
Yeah.
resting in what we're in right now and in the
Right.
season that we're in, and just reading straight from the Bible. And I don't know, that's just kind of the season we're in, which is really weird because normally I love doing all the Christmas things,
Yeah.
but
Well, that's
this year
good
I'm
though that
like,
you're listening to your gut with it all and
yeah,
just really slowing
yeah,
down because I know that that can be hard. It can be hard
yeah.
for us to not feel like we're doing enough. But it
Mhm.
is one of the beautiful things about homeschooling and that freedom
Yeah.
that we have is that we can slow down and there's
Yes.
nobody to tell us you can't.
Absolutely.
You can do that
Absolutely.
and you can feel good about it because
Yeah.
it's your family. So,
Yep. And you can still be so intentional with all of the things,
absolutely.
regardless of what you're doing. And I
Absolutely.
do, I don't know. There's just such, I don't want to say magic, but I'm just gonna say magic
Yeah.
about this time of year that I
Oh,
don't want to be
yes.
so I have a problem with trying to do too many things and
Mhm.
creating too many things and
Yeah.
putting too many things in our schedule.
Mhm.
And then I miss it. So
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want to
Yeah.
just really rest with my boys and our family and soak it all in. So
Yeah.
that's
That's
kind of what we're
awesome.
doing. I did I don't know if you've ever heard of this before, but it's called the book Advent. And so every day leading up to Christmas, you
Mhm.
wrap a book and
Yeah.
then the boys unwrap it or whatever, and you read a new book or a new to you book every
Yeah.
day leading up to Christmas. Well, I had every intention of doing that and totally rocking it. And obviously, here we are, December 2nd, and I didn't get any of them wrapped, but we are still reading one
That's
Christmas
all that
book every
matters.
day leading up to Christmas. Yes, they don't get to unwrap it, but it's fine. It's been great. And
It's
so we
like,
did
oh,
that.
I have to wrap 22 books. Like,
This is ridiculous. I don't
yeah,
have time for
why?
that. I'm like, here, guys, you want to wrap them so that you can unwrap them? Does that sound fun to you?
That's
Anybody?
what
Yeah,
my kids do
great,
with their
great.
toys. Like they actually used up a whole roll of my Christmas wrapping paper already because they were
Oh,
wrapping up
that's
stuff that they
awesome.
already had and they're like giving it to each other. Here,
Nice. That's
Zoe.
so fun, though. Here's a gift for you. I bet you have
Yes,
no idea
it's
what's
my old
inside.
shoot up Barbie. You know, I don't want it anymore.
You can have it. I love you. I love that so much. But it's just, yeah, just totally trying to just soak up, yeah, where we're at and
Yeah,
what's going on in life and all the things. And it's just, I don't know, it's a beautiful time of year. And then
it is.
resetting so that come January,
Yes.
we're kind of in the same boat and just ready to hunker down and finish the year strong.
Thank you guys so much for joining us and for being so patient with us as we kind of split on you a little bit, but we're back and we have so many different plans for this podcast and in the future. So join us in a couple of weeks where we will talk about our New Year's plans, the things that we have planned for this podcast and this space, and just like even in our lives, what's going to be going on and what we have vision for us for 2022. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but we are just so glad to be back here and it felt good. It felt good to have this conversation. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to, if you're not already subscribed, whether you're watching this or listening, be sure to follow us. We have an Instagram, which we are admittedly not great at.
Super. We're super active over there. Super active.
Super. Got so much content.
I actually even forgot that there was an Instagram.
I did too. I don't even know if I remember the login information, but yeah, be sure to follow us over there.
All kinds of encouragement.
Maybe that can be a goal that we have for this new year, to be a little bit more present on Instagram. But we appreciate you guys so much. And just thank you so much for joining us. And we will catch you guys in 2 weeks. So be sure to be back here in 2 weeks. All right. Bye guys.
Bye. Maybe that could be like the kickoff to a new season.
Yeah.
Could we do that?
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of closed out what we were talking about before.
Right. We had like kind of a series going. So
we had a series and then we had just flew the coop.
We had like 3 episodes?
4 episodes. Let us talk with you about dealing with life and distractions. And we're ghosting you. We're gone now. You're on your own.
We are going to go ahead and take our own advice and we're just out.
We're done. We'll come back when we come back. 2 years later.
Oh, we're the worst. We're the worst gurus.
If this is not like a perfect example of real life, then
exactly.
I don't know what it is.
Who would we be if we didn't take our own advice, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. And thank you so much, Jamie, for joining me. That sounds stupid.
Thank you for joining me in my closet.
This is like my talk show. Thank you for being here with us today, Jamie.
It's great. It's great. Okay. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you for flying all the way to Indiana to talk with me in my closet.